So, good afternoon, everyone. This is our fourth episode of our debate, The Voice of the Heart. And the topic of today's debate is online learning as effective as in person learning? We would have 5 rounds in the debate, namely opening statement round, rebuttal round, cross examination round, closing statement round, and audience Q&A. Each of the rounds will have 2 minutes allotted to each participant, but the last round, closing statement round, would have all the participants from the same team having 2 minutes each to speak on the topic. We have two teams today. First team Aditya, Anurag, and Ayush. The second team would be Anamika, Keshava, and Tamajit. The team one would speak in the favor of online learning being effective, and the team two will speak against the topic. So let's get started with the debate. I would like to invite the team one, that is the team of Ayush and Aditya Anurag, to speak here.
Okay. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Myself Anurag. Today I will be representing Team 1. This is my opening statement. Today I am here to support the argument is online learning is as effective as in-person learning. As being part of affirmative team, I strongly believe that online learning is as effective as in-person learning. In fact, a little better as compared to it. As said by Anant Agrawal, the CEO of edX, online education is like a rising tide. It's gonna lift all the boats up. In online learning, we have lots of immense and valuable benefits. Here are some which I would like to highlight. First is flexibility. Online learning allows us to learn at our own pace and on our own schedule. This can be especially beneficial for students who live in remote areas or have other commitments such as work or family obligations, or for those also who prefer to study at non-traditional times such as early morning or late at nights. In online learning, this is also possible, while in offline it's not even possible. Second is accessibility. Online learning can help to eliminate geographic barriers that might prevent some students from attending in-person classes. With online learning, we can attend classes from anywhere in the world. Online learning is more affordable than traditional in-person learning. Online learning can be more accessible for students with disabilities or other physical challenges also. Third point is I would like to highlight is personalized learning. Talking about some facts, online learning must have been grown with more than 500 million active users by 2025. Countries like Thailand, India, and China and are experiencing a 30% rise in the market and users of online education, which signifies the improvement. As of 2023, it has grown by $37 billion and gained 100 million active users. So are you still wasting your precious time, money, and other resources in traveling and all to just attend one class in your unknown offline college while you have chance to study from well-known colleges like IITs and IIMs from comfort of your home at your own schedule? That's all from my side. Thanks for my time. I'm done with my opening statement.
Okay. Now I would like to invite the participant from team two on the opening statement.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Anamika Agrawal and I am going to speak against the topic of today's debate. Online learning refers to the delivery of educational content and instructions electronically through various multimedia and internet platforms and applications. Another name for online learning is e-learning. It is a procedure of gaining skills and knowledge through electronic devices like mobile, computers, laptops, etc. About 1 billion people across the world still do not have their own mobile phones, and 31% of students is unable to access the internet. In a survey, 77% of 800 college students prefer in person learning in classrooms, that they are better than online methods. These statistics point to the fact that there is a need to understand the various online education problems to address that are lack of motivation. It lacks face to face communication of students with their instructors. Students are not able to meet their peers, which creates a sense of isolation. This ultimately leads to mental health problems. Online learning requires self discipline and good time management skills. It does not help students retain much of their information. Long screen time leads to physical problems like short of sight, headache, stiffness of muscles, bad sitting posture. So, online learning is not as effective as in person learning. Over to you for the next round.
Okay, so now we would have our round two, the rebuttal round. Here, the participants will counter each other's statement with examples. Beware, participants, you are not allowed to ask questions in this round, and doing the same would would just ask for negative marking in here. I would like to invite team one.
Okay, so my name is Aditya Mahicha, and so as the opposite team explain about the statements, so I want to disagree some of the statements. Like first, they tell about the health issues. Actually, health issues depend on you. There are many technological advancement in like you have now glasses with the blue rays protection, anti-glare screen, and now we have many more extension in our computer devices so that we can reduce our time. And according to the statistics by an American company, the average student should spend around 15 to 18 hours about in week to study online. So it is about 2 to 3 hours a day, which is not a big deal to study online. And tell about the students. Actually, 2019 meta-analysis of 99 US Department of Education found that online learning is as effective as traditional offline in-person learning. And in 2020, a study by Arizona State University found that students in online courses are more likely to complete their courses than the in-person learning. So it also cost effective and reduce transport and also is sustainable. And uh, and one more I think want to point out that they said about the lack of motivation. Actually, the most biggest second reason of suicide is not getting into desirable college and studies. So now the colleges are online, so they have chances to study from IITs, IIM, and also from Harvard University, from those lecturers who are teaching in offline. So this is quite well for the students who are not able to make in big examinations. So this is all from my side.
Okay, with your permission, can I just contradict the opening statement only with your permission, organizer?
No, you cannot. You can do the
Okay, so
process.
let me first of all clarify. I have a point. Can I express it in the next round in the question and answer round?
Yeah, sure, you can do that in the next round,
Okay,
but this
thank you.
round
Thank
only
you.
one participant is allowed.
Thank you. Carry on. Carry on. Sorry.
Okay, so we would carry on to the next participant.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So first of all, I want to raise the issue that my opposition friend talk about that. So I want to raise some concern about that. The online learning has higher dropout rates according to the traditional learning. The National Center for Education Statistics reports that the online learning has higher dropout rates, but reduce the interaction and engagement. Research has shown that the online courses often lack of level of interaction and engagement that students experience in traditional classrooms. This can lead to reduced motivation and performance. My third point is technical difficulties. Online learning requires access to reliable internet, computers, and other technologies. Technical difficulties, as my friend raised that the significant barrier to effective learning, especially for students who lack access reliable technology or high-speed internet. And the big concern in that matter is the mental wellness. Okay, actually I want to point out a quote that the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. It is a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, so education have the various goals. Okay, so for that reason, the online learning has lots of difficulties among the interaction area and the one-to-one interaction area among the and motivation area and limited hands-on experience that many of the good colleges like Harvard Online and the IIT and IIM, they provided the recording lectures. And do you, do you think that it is really beneficial by providing the recording lectures from the good professors rather than the one-to-one experience?
Okay, you're above your
This
team.
is from my side. I want to raise those questions, and this is from my side. Thank you.
So we will proceed to the next round, that is cross-examination round. We would have each participant from either of the two teams. So I would like to invite the first team.
Okay, so first of all, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ayush, and I'm representing my team in the cross-examination round. Before asking my question to the opposite team, I would just like to contradict one or two points which they expressed in the first and second round. In the first round, my very well-learned opponent said that 31% of the students are financially unstable and they can't afford the laptops and mobile phones, whatever the things are, to get online education. But if you look at the statistics by National Institute of American Research, almost 57% of European teenagers are not financially stable to attend offline colleges. So according to me, offline colleges are a bit expensive as compared to online learning. So cost effective and sustainability. These are the two main characters. Now I'd like to move forward to my question. So this is a general statistics based question. According to a website named as research.com, around 59% of US and European learning market and teenagers are using online education resources. If these countries have a better structure as compared to other populated countries like India and China and undeveloped countries in the African continent, still they have more than 58 million active users engaged in online education. So why is online education not as good as offline one? Because even developed countries like USA and Europe have a higher number of students using online education.
Okay. Ayush, is that it? Should I proceed with the team two?
Hello. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Uh, in traditional
Okay,
education,
so I would invite the team two to speak in the cross-examination round. Keshiva, you may proceed.
generally in the traditional education, the teacher-student interaction is what makes the person increase his cognitive skills, mental ability, and critical thinking. So while in the online learning, the lectures are more of a recording and more of a online sessions, and there is no specific student-teacher interaction which can increase the skills like communication, critical thinking, and etc. So online learning is still not that effective as offline learning has this extra point. And there is no rural access on for this online learning. Many still back down in this online learning from rural areas. Hello, I'm done.
Okay, so
Okay.
can I contradict the statement said by my opponent?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so as he said that in rural areas, the online education is not accessible. If you look at the general stats all across the world, 5G is introduced in most of the countries, including India. And 5G, I agree that in India, it's not available in each and every part, but in developed countries where, if you take, for example, Japan or China or USA, 5G is available in each and every sector, in each and every state. And hence, according to the statistics, almost 57 million, as I have already said, 57 million students or teenagers are already using online education as their standalone mode, And I would also like to point out that in populated countries like India and China, where the population is a bit high, but the resources are not that available, only 3.7% of the teenagers or the students get proper facilities of offline education in the campus. Only 3.7%. So the rest 96.3%, they also have the right to have proper education for their better future. So I think if we introduce online education in each and every sector, those 96.3% students in populated countries like India and China can access proper education, can have interactions in offline mode with the teachers as well on a monthly basis. And of course, as my very well learned opponent talked about the dropout rates, I agree that dropout rates might be more in the online education, but before dropping out, you must also look at the suicide rates, which are more in the offline education. So hence, I think online education is as good or even better as offline education. Thank you.
Can I contradict in this point?
Yeah, you may.
No, but
Okay.
you already said that only one team member can speak in the third round.
Okay, Tamajit is speaking, right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
cannot, Tamajit. Only one
No,
can.
Keshva.
Okay, Keshava can.
Okay.
All over to Keshwa.
Keshava? Like Keshava is not going to counter this. We would
Hello.
move on to the next one. Okay, you are here.
My net was down. Sorry.
Okay.
What about the countries which are underdeveloped?
Okay, so that's what I was going to say after this. If you look at the underdeveloped countries, I have researched something on this. In Africa, almost all the countries, or approximately 75% of the countries, are underdeveloped due to the poor economic conditions. So, in those countries, if you look at the government engineering colleges or medical colleges, they're not that developed, and hence that countries are a little behind in terms of education, and hence they can't represent themselves in United Nations or any other international organization. So I guess developed countries like USA, India, China, or Japan, they can help and they can provide online education in each and every country of the underdeveloped countries, maybe in African continent, maybe in South American continent. Hence, all the students who are residing in those underdeveloped countries, they can still access better resources from very well learned teachers of different countries. If all the countries come together, then definitely we can, help those students from underdeveloped countries which offline education can't.
All couldn't understand the same language. Many have language barriers in Africa and many areas. Some know French.
Okay, so no, but we have like many of the people, very well learned people, know many languages. So we can have a translator who can communicate in different languages and can make them understand it better. And this is just the case of underdeveloped countries. If you look at the developed countries in Europe continent, according to the research, 70% students, 69% students agree that online classes are better as compared to the offline classes. So even developed country students are agreeing that online education is better. So I guess underdeveloped countries will also agree on this fact if it is properly introduced under United Nations Commission.
Okay, so any questions from team 2?
I want to ask one thing.
Cannot. Only Keshava can.
Okay, okay.
Maybe there is a problem from Kishwa's side in internet, I guess.
You can text him.
Okay, so I think Anamika can ask the question. I mean, I can permit her if the organizers have the permission to.
Then
If Keshwa's
Anamika.
internet is working properly.
Well, since Keshwa's net is down, so Anamika, you may speak on his behalf.
I wanted to ask when underdeveloped countries, they are underdeveloped, they don't have good internet connection, how will they access those online classes or online lectures?
So if they don't have a proper internet connection, how can you expect that they will have better government medical colleges or engineering colleges which can provide a better facility? Introducing internet in each and every area is easy as compared to starting a campus and constructing a building and stuff. You know, online education is easy and cost effective. So as they're already underdeveloped, they have less money. So they can invest that money in online education, which might be easy and accessible. All the students can access it.
But everyone can't have mobile phones, laptops for as they're required for online learning.
So that's what I said. If all the developed countries like USA, Japan, which have a little more economy, a little higher economy, come together under United Nations, they can economically help those underdeveloped countries, because constructing a campus will require as much as approximately 10 times the money as compared to the online education. So I think if we all come together, we can definitely make facilities in a better way to all those underdeveloped countries. We can introduce mobile phones, laptops, whatever the stuff. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, you can forward the question to Anamika and she would ask on your behalf.
And I would also like to add this point that United Nations does provide electronic devices in some underdeveloped countries and medical facilities as well. So I don't think that would be that big issue as compared to constructing a campus and doing whatever the stuff is. That won't be a huge problem.
But still, government schools are there to tackle these needs. Everybody they can't even get good books. How they will get the good internet connection and good mobile phones to access all these things?
Exactly. So that's what I'm
They
saying.
also know
Government,
they should also know how to use all these things now. They only use that old Android. They don't even have smartphones to access these things.
okay,
Will you go in every area of India? I'm not talking about the world. Will you go to every part of India, every village to provide these things? It's very difficult for to provide all these things to the villagers and all, and
this
teach
may
them
be, you will also introduce in each and every state a campus so that all the 100% students can learn in an offline mode. This does not necessarily mean that. So let me give you some statistics. In Africa, almost, one second. Yeah, according to a website, in Africa, almost 32% of the teenagers, they're not even taking education due to the poor, lack of structure, lack of everything. If that structure is, if we started building, if the government of that particular country starts constructing that structure from today, just imagine, it will require at least 3 to 4 years or maybe 5 years. So will they still be that kind of unlearned or illiterate students for the next 5 years? No. If you look at the online education, it can be easily made available in just a couple of months, easily made available. We have already saw that when COVID just struck India, and the government of India took some measures, and just in a couple of days, in 15 to 20 days, it was introduced in all over the country. So same can happen in Africa continent as well, where those 33% students can get effective online education, which can be introduced in just some months. But if you want to construct a proper offline structure, it will require at least 3 to 4 years, according to me, and more money as well.
Why are you only looking for the cost and things? Why you're not looking about the other benefits and other disadvantages of online learning, that they don't have like confidence in them? Online learning just can't give everything to the students, no. Apart from this, there is so many like technical issues, like
See,
other issues where they can't access all these things, and they can't
I,
give and
I
if
disagree
one
with this.
second,
Okay, let me
one
explain.
second, let me complete. One second, let me complete now. Even as you all know that during the COVID time, people were doing online classes and all, and we all know the scenario how they did the online classes. No one was even interested in doing that classes. They were just attending it. What about the knowledge they are gaining from that online classes? Nothing. They were sleeping. They were their homework was done by their parents. Is this the future?
Okay.
Are
Now,
you
now,
when their base is
I'll completely
one
disagree with this.
one
Okay, let me
once
explain my
their
point.
base is only not good, once their base is only not
Let
good,
me firstly
how will
explain.
it?
Let me
Yeah,
contradict
yeah,
the
sure.
first statement, then I'll contradict the second one. As you
Yeah, yeah,
said that,
sure.
interaction in the college and stuff matters a lot. So that's what I'm saying. That interaction will come when that college is introduced in those undeveloped countries or in any other country which requires more money. That's why it's better to take something than taking nothing. Right? They're actually getting nothing. They're not getting any education. They don't even know what alphabets are, what numericals are. So starting from the basic, if you want to introduce an offline structure, it will require a number of years. That's what I'm saying. If they're getting nothing, at least give them something via online education, which is which can be easily made accessible in just a couple of months in all the countries, all the undeveloped countries.
And what about
Let me contrast the second point as well. As you said, the interest and the students were sleeping in the online mode. Well, that's the perspective. If you look at me, I was a JE aspirant myself, so I was listening to all the lectures very seriously. If the student is serious about his or her career, he will take the lectures and all the homework seriously. And if he isn't, I mean, no one in this world can help him out.
okay, what about your seriousness when you were like 1 year old, 2 to 3 years old, in KG class or first class, second class, you were serious about all these studies, about your JEE? You were not. Your parents
Well,
were there to help you,
okay.
to teach you about all these
Tell me
things. Your
something.
teachers were there.
Tell me something. When did you learn alphabets? When did you learn ABCD, entire ABCD, or numbers
In
1 to
my
10, 1 to 100?
in my school days, very small
That
days, primary
Can I
school.
add
exactly. So
something in
according
that
to a
matter?
research, no, let me speak. Okay, according to a research, 12 to 15-year-old teenagers in African continent don't even know alphabets. They know nothing about education. So if you want to provide them education in offline mode, it's gonna be a heck. You can't do that. It's just next to impossible, or it will require 5 to 6 years. Doing it right now so that at least they can gain some knowledge, which can be easily made accessible in just a couple of days. We have already saw that in COVID situation, how developed countries introduced online education methods in just a couple of days. So which can easily made accessible. They're 12 to 15, still they don't know basic numericals and basic alphabets. So that's what I'm saying. We have learned all these things when we were 5 or 6, and they're 12 and 15, still they don't know these things. So if you want to at least give them something, online education is better as compared to offline education in those undeveloped countries.
Can
For
I
the
can I
internet
conclude
prices,
in this
will you pay?
something?
Will you pay for the internet prices?
So will you pay for the campus construction?
Campuses are constructing.
No, they are not
There
constructed.
are already
Just show me the statistics. Just show me the statistics. In
colleges and
Tanzania, in
campuses.
the entire Tanzania, almost 10 million teenagers are there, and campus is available for only 223K teenagers. What about the rest 9.8 million? So will you provide the campus in hundreds of crores of rupees to provide education to those 9.8 million, which will require hundreds of crores? But instead of that, if we provide only it will require at least only a 5 to 10 crore rupees to provide online education to those 9.8 million students. So it's cost effective. That's what I'm saying.
Can I add something? If organizers did.
You may not. As I said, only one participant per team would engage in this round. Do you have any questions?
Let me think for a while. Yeah, I have one more question for the opposite team. May I go ahead, organizers?
Go on.
Yeah. So in populated countries like India and China, where the population is more than 1 billion, if you look at the young group, if you look at the teenagers, there are almost 100 million teenagers. Let's just assume that there are 100 million teenagers in India. Let's take India, for example. So from that 100 million teenagers, only, okay, according to the stats, only 3.7% are getting proper offline facilities. What about the rest 96.3%? They're not getting that proper facilities. So instead of going through the decent traditional method and providing everything through offline mode for those 96%, which will require billions of dollars, we can just invest some millions and provide better education to those 96%. I'm talking about those 96%. We are among the 4%. That's why we are very well educated and we are studying in IITM. But what about those 96% who are residing in your neighborhood and who are not getting that proper facilities in their offline colleges due to the lack of teachers?
Let me
Look at the
say
offline
something.
classrooms only. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to, I'll contradict it.
Internet prices are personal expenses. Government don't pay for that.
Yeah, but only 23 to 25% of the Indian teenagers use government schools and the rest prefer private schools. Because government schools, I mean, everyone knows how the condition of government schools is, except the Delhi government schools.
Still, they are at least learning there.
Only Delhi. What about the undeveloped states like Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh? See, let me explain one more point
They
here.
are still
No, I
government.
have one more point to
They
explain.
are still
In a
government
classroom,
schools and government is
okay,
paying for their education. But government won't pay for the internet expenses. They
they
are
will,
all personal
if
expenses.
we start a scheme,
Mobile
definitely
recharge,
they will. See,
mobile
before 10
recharge.
years, it was,
Government don't
before
does
10
that.
years, before 10 to 15 years, midday meal scheme was just a joke. But in today's date, government is providing meal to the students who are deficient. And one more thing, if you look at the offline structure, in each and every classroom, we can accommodate only 100 students. Let's say 500. If we accommodate 500 students in undeveloped states, one teacher has to handle those 500 students. So one teacher can handle 500 students. But if you look at the online mode, one teacher can handle almost 10 to 15,000 students. So the reach of online is more and more people can easily learn. Okay, so we can't accommodate that 10,000 students in a single classroom and teachers can handle all those.
But teachers can't answer to all the 15,000 students' questions.
Yeah, they can. If you look at the module which PhysicsWallah has created, PhysicsWallah has approximately 50 to 60,000 students in their online learning. And I was myself a student of PhysicsWallah. I used to ask a doubt and it was answered only in a couple of minutes. Only in a couple of minutes. I can vouch on it. So each and every doubt is absolutely solved in an online mode.
It was not done by one teacher. There were many teachers to answer that.
That's what I'm saying. If in a classroom we accommodate 500 students, let's say, for example, in an undeveloped state, Nagaland, we have 10,000 students. So for 10,000 students, it will require at least 20 teachers. Okay, if 500 students are handled by one teacher, we will require 20 teachers. But if obviously, I mean, finding out 20 teachers and providing all the facilities to those 10,000 students will be a bit expensive as that state is already undeveloped. Okay, so if you introduce online education, that 10,000 students can be easily handled by one or two teachers at max, which PhysicsWallah has been handling since years. Okay, not just physics wala, but Alan as well in an online mode by DLS programs and many other, like for example, IITM as well. We have thousands of students still
There is not
handling.
only one.
So
There is not only one
Just
teacher
one
who is handling all
more.
these things. There are
I'm
many.
some
done.
There
teachers,
are team
I'm
of
saying some
teachers.
teachers. I'm saying some
There are
teachers.
team
I'm
of
not saying
teachers.
one teacher. I'm saying some teachers. Thousands of students can be handled in an offline mode by many teachers, but in online mode by some teachers. So it will require less expenses, less amenities, and obviously the rest saved amount can be introduced in better curriculum.
Okay. Wait.
Okay, now we
Wait.
would
Yeah.
okay. Now
Yeah.
we would proceed to the next round. Already sufficient time has been provided to both the teams. The closing
I
statement.
want to raise. I just want to raise one thing: the statistical inaccuracy from team
Well,
one.
you cannot now. The cross-examination round is over. You can include the point in the cross-examination round and it in the closing statement round, and it would be counted. The marks would be counted for it. To the closing statement round, I would like to invite the participants from Team 1. And Aditya, may you go first here?
Yes, yes. So, online learning. First of all, I will tell about that. Anamika said that pandemic time. So it was pandemic. So how can anyone learn in a good way? There was no mental health that time. It is not because of online education. It was because of pandemic they are not able to learn, and the condition at their home. So it is baseless to tell that online education at that time is not effective. It is effective only because they are online. If they haven't any online classes that time, so the students will have 1 to 2 years of gap. So it is a baseless point. So and online education is effective as in learning, as it is flexible, accessible, self-paced, and have personalized learning. We can download lectures. If person don't have internet connection for a long time, they can download lectures and watch it in offline form. And now there are many schemes so that they can get devices. And so overall, teacher will be harmed if the transportation will take place going to offline institutions. And data also suggests that online learning is as effective as traditional in-person learning. So, and many benefits of benefits are not many benefits are of online learning which are not in the traditional online offline learning. And of course, we all present over here are doing online degree only. So definitely, it is worth it. I'm over here.
Okay. I would like to invite Anurag to speak on the same.
Hello, I will be proceeding with my ending statement. In conclusion, we have presented a robust case in support of the proposition that online learning is just as effective as in-person learning, and in some cases, it can even be more effective and better. We have provided evidence, citing studies and statistics that demonstrate the effectiveness of online. We also emphasized the benefits of online learning, such as flexibility and personalized learning. Learning provides students with the ability to learn on their own schedule from anywhere in the world and their own pace. It can also be more affordable and accessible for students with or other physical challenges. While we acknowledge that there are some challenges to online learning, as the need of self-motivation and the potential for distractions or any technical issues, we believe that these challenges can be overcome with the support and from teachers and mentors. Furthermore, online learning platforms provide many tools and resources to help students overcome these challenges and succeed in their studies. I think my friend Aditya has explained these things. In conclusion, we urge everyone to consider the benefits of online learning and to embrace the mode of learning as a viable and effective alternative to traditional in-person instructions. We believe that online learning has the potential to revolutionize, and in fact, it's revolutionizing the way we approach education and provide access to education to many who might not otherwise have had the opportunity. Thank you. That's all from my side. I'm done with my ending statement.
Okay. Now, Ayush, would you like to speak for the closing statement?
So I'll start my closing statement. Already all the points have been mentioned by my companions Aditya and Anurag, but still I would like to love some uh, add few more points. So the stats clearly say that 70% Western teenagers are involved and influenced by online education as compared to the offline mode. In countries where the population is extreme, such as India or China, where the resources of providing offline education are less due to the more population, online education is being considered as a boon. If you look at the competitions in offline sector, only some single digit percentage students are taught by very well learned professors of, let's say, some better government institutions like IIT or NIT. But if we introduce online education in such a mode, all the students can be taught effectively by those well learned professors. And talking about the facilities, Zoom, Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp, all these applications are very well designed to handle online education is in a very better way, which we have already saw in the COVID, in the COVID time. And yeah, of course, my opponents mentioned the eye problem and health problems as well. As Aditya has already said that we have very well designed lenses by Titan and Lenskart, which have a blue ray protection, which can protect our eyes from the rays of the laptop or the mobile phone. Last but not the least, see, learning at our own pace, no geographical restrictions, better resources, modern technology, cheap costs, accessibility, a rising interest, lower amount of time required, varieties and available options. All these are the basic characters of online education. So I think that online education is a little better as compared to offline education. And I just want to say that I'm doing an online degree from IIT Madras. And yes, I'm doing it standalone and I'm proud of it. I'm done with my closing statement.
Okay, so team one is done with their closing statement. Now I'd like to invite the team two. We would begin with Anamika. Anamika, would you like to speak?
Yeah. Yes, hello. For the closing statement, I would like to add some things that even today, many colleges and companies value in-person learning more than the online learning. They prefer students and people who have learned from in learning from in-person learning than online. Even we will when we would come for our going for the companies, they would prefer more people who have done their schoolings and colleges through in-person learning. And secondly, I would say that there is limited hands-on learning. Many fields require hands-on learning experiences that are difficult to replicate in an online learning. Example for lab experiments, clinical training, physical education classes. All areas require in-person learning. Technical issues are much bigger problems than this. And secondly, I would say that low academic performance. We studies have shown that students in online courses typically perform worse academically than their peers in traditional in-person learning. For the build-up of for the personal development of a students, not only education is required, but the academic performance is also required for the students. And we have seen in our country in India, students below 10 years old don't even have time to go to schools. How they will they all are busy in getting their uh, earning their livelihood. Parents don't let their students go to school, but how they will learn from their online modes. All the students have to pay for the internet prices. Government don't pay for that, uh, for the internet expenses, and we have seen that very much in our country. So like first the internet packages were so cheap, and then the rates have increased, but the rate of education for the books never increases for the government schools. They all are provided by the governments.
May I contradict some of the point I want to tell?
Even 1 second. And
May I?
students below 10 years old don't know the necessity to of their education, the necessity of their getting learned. Parents can't sit at their home to teach children from the online modes. They have to earn. Parents just can't sit with the students to get their children taught about that. They have to go to schools. They have to send their children to school to get their children to learn and get personal development. Thank
Actually,
you.
there is very inaccuracy in this statement. I want to point out.
This is the closing statement round, and any inaccuracies may not be pointed out in here. So I would like to invite Keshava to speak for his closing statement.
Hello. Hello.
And also a gentle reminder, you do not have to contradict here. You just have to like point out. You don't have to contradict in here. You just have to make your closing statement. You cannot contradict. So Keshava, please proceed.
Hello. Am I audible?
Here you are.
Interactivity is key to any learning environment. This is the key barrier, especially identified by the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, is the ability of teachers to connect with students and identify their needs. This can be hard to achieve in an online learning. A teacher's value extends beyond the classroom, and it increases the cognitive and mental thinking skills of a student when the teacher is more of a uh, father figure or friend who can point out their mistakes and let them guide to be better. And research has identified that a two-way dialogue is one of the most effective ways of communicating, and it is particularly important in education. This can be done in an offline classroom, and especially with student interactions and group learning interactions with teachers. I'm done. Hello.
Okay. So I would like to invite Tamajit now. Please proceed with your statement and do not like point out the contradictions in here. We would consider the factual inaccuracies. Just summarize what you want to say in this round.
Thank you, organizers. I want to start from those great quotes by John Dewey. The education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. And another, the famous quote by Sakuntala Devi. Education is not just about going to school and getting a degree. It is about waging your knowledge and absorbing the truth about life. The first. So I want to conclude that yeah, I am doing the online degree, but the problem is that there is too much technological inaccuracy and disadvantage. Okay, like we doing the debate in online mode and just see that we face too much technological barriers like and connection issues. Is it the right way uh, to start a education system, start a whole education system? My opposition friends talk about that the underdevelopment nations can take online education system as their education system. It may be helpful, but is it really like that? Because the if you talk about the global internet price, that it only in India it is really cheaper, but not in the whole world. Okay, and about the statistics, inaccuracy, I want to point out something that about the my opposition friend point out that the in India the students interest in private school is in government school is 20%, but it is not right. Okay, the students in India study in government school. The statistics is more than 70%, and in private school, like 20 to 22%. Okay, it is the actual statistics. So I guess they lead this. Okay, and I want to point out, I want to say on that matter that education is not that the skill development and learning something and that. So we listen many of times that for growing the life, for doing something in the life, school, college degree, and education is not necessary. Okay, but why college is important? College is important for the experience, for the student activities, for the friendship, for the mental and personality development. But is it really possible in online learning? I have really doubt on that matter. Okay, because as belong from online degree, I point
Tamerjit,
out
you
some
are over your
statistics.
time. You are over your time.
Please give me 1 minute on that matter.
Okay, but the marks would be allotted accordingly. You may proceed.
Okay. Okay, for 15 seconds.
You may. I have just warned you.
Okay, so it's just I just want to close something. Just I belong from an online degree, but the pass out of degree percentage, if you point out that it is too low from the traditional degree. Okay, so we have to think about that matter, and it is from my side.
Okay. So we are done with our closing statement round. Now we have our audience question and answer round. So, audience, if you have any questions, you may unmute and uh, just narrate your question to the participants, or you may type it out in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Rashmi's question. Rashmi, can you please elaborate the question a little?
So, Rashmi has a question. Would you guys like to?
आवाज आ
Yeah, so I would like to answer Rashmi's question. First of all, Rashmi, thank you for your question. See, as you said, that how can you make it easy for the students with disabilities and whatever the diseases are to access the education? If you look at the offline mode, for example, just imagine a guy who has a syndrome. How can he access offline education? It would be a heck for him. You know, he has to travel from a certain point to a certain point. Then go there, sit down in the class, interact with other students, and then learn whatever the stuff is, which will be really, really difficult for him. And second thing, he would be completely left out from the peer group. So he might even go into depression. That's the second point which I want to mention here, that offline mode, in an offline mode, as it's more competitive, suicides are increasing day by day, and the depression rate is also increasing day by day. So here is where online education comes in. If that guy, if the same guy has disabilities, just sitting at a place, opening a laptop and watching lectures and solving the assignments is not a big deal for him, as compared to going to a particular campus and then giving the exam or learning whatever it is. So I think if a particular person is disabled, whatever the diseases he or she has, online education is better for him or her.
I want to include in something in this point. Okay, am I allowed?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, for the Rashmi's question, and I want to say something that I don't know that my opposition friends were on this matter or not. That for any disability kind of thing in India and all over world has a special school system that's for special children. So I don't think in the online medium, the special school system and special treatment for the special child, is it really possible? Okay, and education is not right that the assignment and the classes. Okay, the education is more much like that. Okay, so for any students who has a disability, so we have to provide the space for them, the safer place, judgment free place, and they can for their mental development, mental and physical development, for they can play, they can grow. Okay, it is the main thing, but in online education, sadly, it is not possible at all. So for them, the special offline education for specially designed is may very effective and better for them.
Okay, so I want to also
Can I explain my
answer.
point? Okay, Aditya, go ahead.
I also want to answer the Rashmi's questions and the Tamajit. So there
First
are
of all,
many.
answer the Rashmi's question,
Yes, yes, yes.
and you cannot counter Tamajit here.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay,
Okay,
so
you may proceed.
there are many online platform which are providing to education to specially abled child like ADHD, Down syndrome, to those students who are suffering from this. So this is not like there are no online institutions for these type of students. There are many institutions which are also providing education to adult also, adult who suffers with these type of dyslexia and many more disability. So it is not the problem to provide them education, and it is problem to provide them education in offline mode. So they have to find many tutors, or you can say you have to find the tutor for the particular person, but in online there are already some institutions which are providing this. So this is what I want to say.
Okay, also I want to add one more point. The schools for specially disabled are available, I agree, but not in almost all the areas. Because, for example, I have a neighbor as well who is specially disabled. He has some syndrome, but he can't just go to the school because he doesn't have that proper facilities, as he's financially unstable. So I think for those students, introducing education on mobile phones can be a little better. That's what I want to add.
Okay, so I think Rashmi's question is answered. We would take up more questions from the audience. Audience, do you have more
Sorry.
questions?
I have.
Okay, you may ask.
Okay, so what about the discipline that we were taught in the school time? Like wake up at 7 a.m. and get ready and go to the school and do prayers and everything. What about the discipline?
Okay,
So
you're
I'll answer this.
yes.
Go ahead, Aditya. Go ahead.
Okay,
Okay, so
you're
I'll
talking.
answer this.
Decide first.
Let me answer this. Okay.
Okay, okay.
See, In my classroom, I had 50 students and discipline was taught in my school as well. But out of those 50, I hardly know two who were following that discipline, who were following that rules and regulations. So neither in offline mode, neither in online mode, discipline can be introduced in each and every student. It depends upon you, how you want to take it and how you want to adopt yourself. If you are learning from an online mode but are very serious about your career, you can get disciplined as well. But if you're learning in the best school in the entire world and still not that serious about your career, then no one can teach you what discipline is and what other stuff is.
And also, I want to add.
Hello.
Namika, you
As you
want to
said,
add?
Okay, first of all, Tamajit, as you spoke first, you may answer that first, and Anamika, you can follow me later.
okay.
Tamajit?
Me, yeah, Anamika. If Anamika want, he can.
I
Okay,
was saying
Anamika,
that
then.
as you
Can I
said, there
can
were
I
only
can
two
I
students. As you said that there were only two
Sure.
students out of 50 who were disciplined.
Okay,
So rest
first of all, you are not allowed to counter. You are not allowed to
Exactly.
counter the
This
other
one, exactly.
participants.
She's
You are
countering, clear
only
countering.
going to answer what the audience has just asked you. So please, you can answer the question, but you may not counter the other participant or the other team, to be specific.
okay, sorry. So over to you, Tamanjeet.
Okay, think Suke, you have something, I guess, you want to say. So please.
Okay, so Kingfisher said that out of 50 students, only two students were following the system, right? So I'm gonna say something very relatable, like we all have learned through this degree, that you have taken a very poor sample space that wouldn't represent the whole population, right? We're just talking about your classroom, not the entire country's classroom. So how is it justifiable for the
Yeah, so
all
this
Okay,
is
for that reason,
I
I
was I was
can.
not I was not trying to I was just trying to give an example. Just imagine, see, I was just trying to say that getting disciplined or getting hygienic, getting whatever you want to, getting knowledgeable, it depends upon you. If you take the services seriously, then obviously you can become the most successful person. But if you are present already in the bestest school in the entire world, and if you're not serious, no one can teach you whatever the qualities are. It depends upon you. That's what I was trying to say. That's what
So
I was trying to.
how the online education will help the 2-year-old
I
children to
am
get the
I'm
discipline?
saying I'm saying both the modes cannot introduce these qualities in a certain child or in a certain student.
No,
It
like
depends upon you.
yeah,
If you want to inculcate these qualities into yourself, you definitely can by online or by offline. No mode, neither online, neither offline can do this. It depends upon you. It clearly depends upon you. If you want to get disciplined, you can. If you don't, then no one can make you disciplined.
okay. So as you said, your 50 classmates. After 50 classmates, only two were able to get the discipline, right? So
Yeah.
what if they were students of some online classes? Will those two students even get the discipline if they were in online
Yeah,
education?
we already have studied online for 2 years in the COVID time and have cracked competitive exams. So yeah, discipline was inculcated in both of them.
Okay.
Okay, I want to say something on that manner. That about the discipline thing. Okay, the for the successful life and some area like for in army in some area like in of for government office hold and for any responsibilities in public affairs, they have to be disciplined. Okay, so for the discipline thing, the offline education system is more effective, and from till now, the online education system can't make those system and those place for teaching discipline till now. Okay, so why? Because of in offline education system for school and college, the routine they have to follow the routine. The life is beyond the routine, and they have to follow the discipline and follow the rules and regulations. And it's many of time it's helpful for being for learning the values of the life, for learning the discipline, learning the regulations, and for me also. And I guess many of students across the country, the school life routine is really helpful to done your work in time, done your homework in time, and be ready with time. So timing is very crucial thing. So maybe online is possible, but till now it is not possible till now. Yeah, not executed till now. But in offline, it is possible, and there is lots of scope. It is my point.
Okay. Now we would be taking up next question that Rashmi has. How does online learning impact the job prospects and career development of students? And what can be done to ensure that online degrees are valued and recognized by employers? I guess this question is to Team 1. So, anyone would like to speak on this?
Yes. I want to speak.
Okay.
Like we all are doing online degree, and we all know very well that our seniors get placed and get internship in many of the companies like Cisco and many more. We already seen the banners from IIT Madras. They are getting placed, and job training and job the placement is already a cell in our IIT Madras for only the online students. Like BS have the particular placement cell for them to get placed in the companies, and also providing them the trainings for the jobs. So I think it is a part, and they are considered in online education.
Okay. Anyone else on the Team 1 would like to answer this question?
I'm thinking for a while.
Yeah, you are allowed to think for a minute.
Could you repeat the question once?
Yeah, sure. The question is, how does online learning impact the job prospects and career development of students? And what can be done to ensure that online degrees are valued and recognized by the employers?
Okay. Would like to answer this by taking the reference of our degree. As she said in the second part of her question, first of all, thank you for the question. I'm sorry. What can be done to ensure that online degrees are valued and recognized by the employers? So it depends on that particular institution who is providing that particular degree. If you look at many of the offline colleges where students are pursuing, different degrees, the degree is not considered to be that worth it due to the less availability of the facilities, and hence placements are not that high in the offline colleges of rural areas. Obviously the placements are not high, they are high only in some higher government institutions. So it completely depends on that particular university who is providing that online education. If they are, I mean, if the employers will consider or recognize the degree or not. And as she said in the first part, how does online learning impact the job prospects and career development? Okay, so it depends upon how much time you dedicate. Firstly, second, it depends upon skills. If you're trying to learn skills, then online and offline both can be much valued. If but online comes to be at a par if you're financially unstable, and it can save your time as well. That's what my point is. So skills learning, nobody can stop you. That's what I was trying to say from few minutes. Like you can learn skills from online mode in a better way as compared to offline mode, and in the cheap way as well. So yeah, this is my answer.
Also want
Okay,
to
I
add,
I want to add something in this
First
idea.
of all, okay, you would like to add, but since Team 1 is speaking, so may the Team 1 speak first.
Okay.
Follow.
so respect to online education, many offline education is not also providing campus placement. So many students from IITs and different colleges are taking off campus placement, and it is not depend on your degree or anything else. It depend on your skills. How are your skills, and it is based on that you get the job. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Now, Tamajit, please speak.
Okay, so I want to include something. Yes, some agreement with the Timon that many of times that the placement is not depends on your degree. Okay, it is really true. Many of sites, if you see the statistics data on IIT placement, BTech placement, then you can see that the on-campus placement ratio is not the whole procedure. Many of students take off-campus placement, but in the placement thing, the very crucial thing is the image building, the communication building, the public speaking, and the personality development. But in online degree, sad to say that this process is we lag behind. Okay, in offline degree, the group discussion, the help of the friends, the suggestions from the teacher, and the in online degree, the various of colleges conduct many workshops, in-person workshops that really helpful for your personality development. And really to say that placement very much depends on your soft skill, your speaking skill, your presenting skill, rather than your knowledge and your whatever your area. Okay, it is really true thing. If you see the stats, and yeah, in online you can learn the skill from online mode, but yeah, as well as offline mode also. Government have lots of program in that manner for skill development particularly. Yeah, but no one can uh, like no one can create barrier to learning skill. But about the placement thing, okay, so not learning is the not only one point. The education is not only the one point. So it is my answer on that matter.
Okay. So do we have any more answers to this question?
Yeah, I just want to add one more point. Talking about the doubt discussions and group discussions, they can be easily made available in online mode as well via various applications like Zoom and Discord, which we are using right now as well. Here also we can discuss different doubts and have a group discussion and then mutually solve each other's questions. So this should not be like a concern.
Okay. So
I
with
also want to include one thing on that matter.
this is
That
the last
yeah,
point you allowed it.
okay. In the interview thing and the placement thing, looking good. Okay, the many of think the ABC is the great factor. The appearance, behavior, and communication. Okay, the ABC matter. So in online mode, we lagging behind on that manner. The your appearance, your behavioral thing, it's many of time it's not possible that that in online mode we can say that you're looking so beautiful, you are so handsome, but in the offline mode, in the in front of lots of people, then it can be say possible that yes, it is real you. So in online, you can hide your personality, but in offline, it is not possible at all. So it is the main thing.
I would also like to add a point here. ABC
This is the last
appearance
point
behavior.
from the team one.
Yeah. This would be
Okay.
the last point.
Okay.
Talking about the ABC method, as said by my very well learned opponent, I'm not contradicting it. I'm just saying that during COVID times, lakhs of peoples were given jobs in a work from home method via online interviews only. So it should also not be a concern. Like placements can be taken offline and can be taken online. It just depends upon your skills.
So I want to
No. It's
no
done
no.
already. Now we have the next question. You can speak there. Save your energy.
Okay.
So the next question, Omnipresent had asked, even IITM is organizing offline events to bring their students closer. It's more clear that online is lagging something crucial, natural human interaction. You are a human. You need to interact. You might create Gmeet to interact, but still we feel something incomplete. We are not robots. Also, extracurricular activities are prominent for the development of persona of a child. Is online education able to organize extracurricular activities, that is physical activities? This question is to team one.
Yeah,
Okay,
Team
so
I would like
one,
to
yeah,
answer this. The debate in which we are right now, it's also an extracurricular activity. First point. Second point, talking about the uh, IITM thing, as you said, it's just for interaction with the teachers and not between the students. So every time, so that teachers can interact with the students, which can be done by offline, which can be done by online mode as well. It was just a boon for all of us. There are many universities and colleges in across the world who are doing or who are having complete online degrees. For example, Harvard's CS50, but still thousands and thousands of students are studying from
what is
CS50, even though they are not having a
this?
student-run cultural festival. Okay, that's the first point. Then thousands of students are studying from CS50. But same thing was about to happen in IIT-MBS as well. It was a boon for us that they introduced a festival. And talking about the interactions, we can interact in an online method as well. We can interact, we can have different curricular activities and cultural activities like debates, elocution competitions in an online mode as well, where we can assure that cheating won't be happen. So I don't think this should be a concern if you look at the online method and on offline method, because I have myself studied in an offline method till 10th standard, and since the last 6 months I have been studying in an online method, but I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't notice any kind of change. I was actively participating in all the events. So I don't think this should be a concern.
I also want to add one point. Actually, the debate is based on online learning. It is not based on online college or online anything. So, online learning does not provide any physical activity. What type of physical activity you are thinking that online learning will provide you? It is not also offline. You are going school to do some human interaction. You are going school to, actually it is not based on school also. It is about online learning. Online learning is about learning anything, any point you can learn. Like you want to learn about some disease, it is also an online learning. So does not include the physical activities. I don't think it is like online learning include physical activities. Physical activity you can join nearby your house ground. You can join anything, you can join for physical activity. It is not based on online is better or offline is better. It is about online learning is better or as effective as offline learning. It is about learning, not about the colleges or anything.
Elaborate what he's trying to say. What he's trying to say, I'll try to elaborate it. See, whatever, if you want to become stable in your career, whatever matters are your skills. If you want to learn those skills, you can in an online way, in a better way, as compared to the offline way, and in a cheap way as well, as we have already discussed earlier. That's what he's trying to say. If you want to learn skills, you can learn it from online way in a better method as compared to offline way. That's what he was trying to say.
Learning online
Okay,
skill is online learning only.
okay. Now I want to include something and that manner.
Yeah, you may proceed.
Okay, the first thing is I also say earlier that the education is not that only learning, only studying, only doing assignments, only giving the exams. It is the basic definition of the education. Education means your development, your growth, your all over development. It is the basic definition of education. And I want to conclude the omnipresent question, the ITM matter. Okay, is and I want to say that the organizing the offline interactions is not means the teacher student interaction. It is for student interaction. uh, Eye contact is really crucial, really important for any type of interaction. But sadly speaking, in online mode, we are lagging in this. Okay, that just I want to ask the question: the human touch, the holding hands, and the hugs. It is really matters. Yeah, or not in everything, in friendship, you in your relationship, in any of thing. Okay, how you can say you can create a Google Meet. You can join Discord. You can, and is it like a long distance? Okay, long distance friendship, long distance relationship, and is it really add any human values? Yes, I want to say that we are not a robot. We are humans. We need to play. We need to do activities. We need, I think, like I can share my personal experience from ITM offline organizing interaction area about the Margari also, that if you sit front of someone and if you talk about that many of things, it is really very much different in speaking in if it in all one-to-one interaction in online mode. So difference really the difference exists. Offline interaction really important. Yes, we lagging many of things, many of crucial things in online mode, and due to technological disadvantagements and barriers, sadly it is not possible. We can do something if possibly VR or metaverse, but till now it is not possibly executed. But so till now, the technological whatever the technological exists, offline is better than online. It is the main thing.
Okay, now we have the next question up. It's asked by Rashmi. So she has asked, what are ethical considerations surrounding online learning, such as the use of AI and automated grading systems, and how can we ensure that these technologies are used responsibly and fairly? This is the last question.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to, you
This
can
is
go
to
ahead.
team one primarily. No, this is to team one primarily. So the team one would decide this, and later team two can add upon. And
Yeah.
beware, participants, you are not allowed to counter each other.
Okay, so
So
as Rashmi said, in a question, first of all, thank you for the question. See, if you look at many offline universities, however the large university is, it does use AI in their offline mode as well to provide education in a better way. Okay, if you look at many IITs or NITs, they have introduced AI, ML, whatever the stuff is, which are completely online, so that students can learn in a better way, because that's not kind of possible by the professors. Teaching everything is not possible by the professors, right? And that's where AI and ML comes into the thing. So I think AI and ML can be introduced in a better way in the online mode as compared to the offline mode. And the next, she is talking about the ethical considerations. Well, I don't think like this can be controlled by us. These are completely the responsibilities of the government. If they want to introduce some ethical rules and regulations or the limit, they definitely can. But it completely depends on the usage, how students use it and how students do not, because such things keep on happening in offline mode as well and in online mode as well. So it depends upon you and the government how these ethics and how these legal things are introduced. So that's what my answer for the question is.
Yes, I also want to add, like you tell about the AI and stuff. So at the last, you have to learn. Online learning is about the knowledge. It's not about the exams and all. Exam people will pass, and with the help of AI as well. But online learning is providing you knowledge. So it is more important to have knowledge than passing any exams or anything. I think knowledge is should be superior than any of the thing. So if they are cheating is also possible in online mode also. So it is not that like what if the cheating will happen, what if anything will happen. You are learning, you have knowledge, that is the thing that matter in online learning.
And I would like to add one more point as well here. Let me just think for a while. Okay. Okay. So I'm really sorry. I think Tamajit should continue. I'll think for a while one more.
okay, so team two has any answers to this question?
I want to ask from my teammates,
No, no, you
Anamika.
are, first of all, you are, okay, teammates, you're asking your teammates, then you can,
Okay,
okay?
okay, Anamika and Keshva, do you want to conclude anything on that matter? After that, I will do.
Okay.
Anamika and Keshva.
No, I
Uh,
don't have as such to conclude as it's already been seen and all the topics have been covered already. So yeah, you can continue if you have anything to say.
okay, Abbas. So then I have something that about the ethical consideration is Tivon says some point greatly. It is about the ethical thing. It is depends on the government. It is not depends on the online and offline mode. It is really first point. And about the technological and the fairness. Yeah, it is the question. I can say that AI is not fair totally, not ethical totally at all. If you talk about you can say that AI is doing job perfectly, but if you talk about the social side of the AI, there is many of series you can say you can watch that so obviously the social dilemma also the great series you can say that the AI is not fair on the jobs. Okay, the it is depends on the data training. So so for from that reason from that point that automation the grading procedure and everything it is depends on the data training and it is depends on rules and regulation and it is totally depends on government and the who can like controlling system. Okay, and but about the cheating method. Okay, in online, if it is the online exam, in online exam cheating is really too easy to do. Yeah, I can't say that in offline the cheating is not possible. Also, cheating is possible in offline also. Uh, but but less than online. Online in online cheating is we can do cheating frequently, but the AI thing it is totally depends on the or regulation bodies.
Okay, so I also want to add some point. We have some many big online examinations like JEE, NEET, and we have heard that they have cheating, but very less as compared to the leaking of the paper and all that stuff. So I don't think uh, it is playing any role in cheating in online. Like JEE don't have like that type of cheating in online examination. People like. People do some things like they get mobile which does not include the online cheating, or this is not going on online cheating or not. This is about the online learning, so we should stick to the point. We
Okay,
are
so thank you
shifting.
so much for the time. I would like to add something to this. See, firstly, talking about the cheating thing. Uh, when the COVID was, circulated in
You are
all over
not
the country,
allowed to, wait a minute, you are not
uh,
allowed to counter anyone.
I'm not
Okay, you
countering.
are
I'm just
only
adding my
allowed,
point. I'm just adding my point about the cheating thing.
you are
The
allowed
way
to
Rashmi has
answer the
asked, see,
question.
the way
Okay.
Rashmi has asked questions about the ethical things, she was actually trying to say, how can you ensure that online is completely safe? I mean, cheating is not happening over there. That's what she was trying to say. Now I actually got the question. So I just want to add my point.
Okay, you may proceed then.
Yeah. So talking about the cheating thing, so when COVID was circulated in all across the country, I had given a competitive exam in which the exam was carried out in TCS software. Firstly, secondly, the webcam of my particular laptop was on. Thirdly, a mobile was alternately introduced at my right hand side. So cheating was not at all possible in that case. But if you look at the exams which are carried out in offline colleges, papers might leak or anything might happen. So it's clearly, it can be clearly understood that AI and ML is a bit safer as compared to the complete offline method, the complete traditional method of providing a question paper and answer sheet and then writing it down. It might even leak. But through AI, the leakage chances are very, very, I'm not saying it's zero, but they are very, very less. That's the first thing. And the second thing which I want to say, that many of the students are, I mean, they have already left offline colleges. They were having an offline degree and they have left offline colleges just to pursue this degree. Not just this degree, but any other online degrees carried out by different topmost institutes of the country. Yeah,
Okay.
so carried out by topmost institutes of the country. So that's what matters. Skills are the utmost thing of education. If you want to be skillful, I mean, online education is definitely better as it can, introduce skills at a very easy pace and at a cheaper rate. That's what my conclusion statement is.
Yeah, when we talk about cheating methods, it is also possible in offline modes also. It happens.
Yeah.
So
In
you
online,
are
it's
not,
very less.
Anurag,
Yeah.
first of all, you are not going to counter him. You can answer the question upon like the question she asked upon the grading system, but you are not allowed to counter him that
Yeah,
in
that's what I
offline we do
said.
this
That's what I said.
and we do.
AI/ML graded system is better as compared to the complete offline traditional graded system.
Anurag, do you want to speak anything on the question?
No, I think my mates had already answered everything.
Okay. So I
I
think
want to add something on that manner.
I think you want to answer the question and not like counter him, I guess.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But
So,
You are only allowed to like answer the question
okay,
upon
okay.
the
No,
validity of the.
just I want to draw a fact that I don't think that going the TCS or the JNET, it is not online examination because you have to go in person. And
you are giving examination on computer, I think.
Okay, you are not
Exactly.
allowed
It is
to
an
counter.
online education.
First of
In
all,
online
you are
exam.
not allowed to counter each other. So just
okay,
consider
okay.
that thing. Don't
About the
counter.
ठीक है,
Using
about
mouse
the
and selecting
grading
the
method
options, I
and the
guess.
Let
cheating
the team
method.
to speak first. Yeah,
अच्छा,
team two. Okay.
about the grading and cheating method. Yeah, online and offline, in both of methods, it is really possible. I don't think that introducing AI and ML really the stop the cheating method and decrease the percentage. I don't think so because with the technological advancement, the students can find the new way to do cheating. Okay, so it is the first thing. So in online and offline education, the cheating is possible, but till now, I can say that offline is more safer in cheating thing. Yeah, paper leaking is the system failure. Paper leaking is the exam controlling body's responsibility. It is not students' responsibility, but from the students' side point of sight, the in offline cheating less compared to online method.
I think
Okay, so I would like to add a point here. Add a point to Rashmi's answer. See, no, that's not a contradiction. That's just an answer to Rashmi's question because I have a data with me right now. Okay, so when JEE and NEET were
Like that
conducted
would be
by
considered. Kingfisher, that would be considered. The data you have, that would be considered. But you have like it's
no, I just
done right
have
now,
a point
and
to
I
add which
think
I
you have,
forgot to.
okay,
No,
you
but
just can
this
point
point
out one.
I guess is
One
important.
can point
Yeah,
out
just
one.
one line. I just heard you. In 1997, when the JEE advanced paper was conducted completely by professors in a very, very traditional offline mode, it got leaked. But since the JEE and NEET have been started conducting online, there is no paper leakage till date.
Okay.
So
Now we are
AIML is a
wrapping up
bit
the debate.
safer.
Yeah. Okay. Now we are wrapping up the debate. You guys have so much energy for speaking 2 hours. We will just wrap up the debate, and it was lovely to have all 6 of you debating fiercely with each other, fighting tooth and nail. It was a lovely debate.
Thank you.
सब लोग क्या मान सकते हैं?
So thank
Yeah,
you,
sure. We
Rahul.
would have.
Yeah. So
Okay.
am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So I am Ali Jawad. I would like to thank. Hello. Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So I would like to thank all the participants for their excellent performance.